Let me tell you a story. I turned on the camera and I was going through the final checks in my head to start the video about motivation. And doing the final checks in my head, my brain got overwhelmed. I dropped my head because it's like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. maybe. I cleaned up this whole area and now I'm slightly overwhelmed. So, my brain is telling me to go play PlayStation. It would be so cool to stop working and go play Cult of the Lamb. That would be amazing. But here's the thing. I would not feel good if I did that. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, forget the hype feature, please do that. Small channels like this are never gonna hit the algorithm. It's only gonna survive if you promote it, if you share it, if you share it up on Reddit. If you like the messages, that is. If I sound stupid, feel free to ignore. So, motivation. I've never really been a person who, God damn it, struggles to get started. I've also never really had a problem with continuing. My problem has always been when knowing how to end things. And I know that might sound like a strange place to start a story about motivation, but truthfully, starting and stopping require the same amount of energy and decision making. I moved out of my house when I was 17 to go to Arizona to do culinary school. The plan was to do that, come back, do my internship, get a job that could pay a little bit more so that I could possibly save money on student loans, and then go back to school for journalism. I did the first part, and then at a certain point, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to be a writer professionally. Am I a writer professionally? Yes. But what I really decided was that what I wanted from my career was something that was a bit unique. I wanted something that would allow me freedom and movement and control and creativity, and would allow me to teach people about sexual health, about pleasure, about life, that would allow me to communicate with people. Truthfully, when I went, even though I planned for journalism, the reason why it ended up being psychology is because, well, when I was a teenager, I decided that apparently sex was so important to adults that I should understand everything about it to help everybody else understand the world. I saw kids my age making dumb decisions. I saw adults making dumb decisions. I saw elders making dumb decisions. I saw dumb stuff on TV, and I was just like, Now hold on. Let me think this through. Maybe if everyone is asking me for relationship advice as a teenager, maybe they want me to give them that. Did I enjoy it? Absolutely. I like being the source of information. I like being able to inspire people and influence people to be better and grow. And that's what motivated me to go to college. That's the baseline motivation for everything that I've ever done in my entire adult life, that is. I started a long ways away from today in terms of motivation because, truthfully, finding daily motivation is kind of hard. Keeping it 100. I'm just being honest with you. Some days, I just want to lay in bed. And truthfully, I do some days. I'm not a machine. I'm just a human. I'm literally an artist. But when I wake up every day and I hear new orders, see new orders, I've got people that I know out there need me. Even stuff as simple as the newsletter, which truthfully does not make us that much money. Also, truthfully, a lot of business people have told me that I should put less focus into it, and I have. There are less blogs, but I just firmly believe that taking you guys on this ride with me will be beneficial long term. Because, a lot of people don't know that it's just me here. It's just me. A lot of people think, because I present really well, that this company is a bit bigger. We've had people who worked here all the time, but the truth is, when anything goes wrong, if people quit, it's me. The business relies on me. You rely on me. And even on those days where I want to get out of bed, I may not necessarily think, oh, they're counting on me. That's a bit cheesy. I'm emo. That's not how my brain works. But my brain will say, you have a duty. I treat it the same way I would treat a child, a pet. I feel an internal compass of duty to get up every day and continue on with answering your questions, with figuring out what's going on in my mind to help you guys figure out what's going on in your world, or just entertain you, or whatever. I'm driven to do it every day because the Butters is mine. So I'm motivated to make sure that it presents well at all times. There's a lot of reasons for that motivation, and it's not just to make money. I'm looking back in my head at this time where, this is probably like 15 years ago now. And before that point, I would get up every morning bright and shiny, shit, shower, shave, breakfast, whole nine, get up, get dressed, get to work. Let's get going. Got a blast. But over time, I was just like, why do I have to shower every day? I think if you struggle with mental illness, you know exactly where that's going. Depression. Why do you need to shower every day? Because your ass stank. I think about that moment a lot because it's odd. It was like the first time in my adult life where depression had really gripped me. And in that way, motivation is a funny thing. Because what the fuck motivated me to stop? And until recently, I never really thought about it that way. I always thought about it in the other way of, I didn't have motivation to get up and get dressed. I had it for like 25 years, and then one day I just decided, oh no, we're just not gonna do that anymore. What made me stop? Luckily, I found the answer to that now, by the way. The answer is that I was overwhelmed. I just finished college, bachelor's in psychology. This is after culinary school, so I'm also a baking and pastry chef. And I've graduated college. I have no job. All I have in my life is LTA Sex, the blog, as it was at the time. And I needed to work to make my bills, and I needed to figure out how I was gonna make myself successful. And truthfully, in that moment, showering, the scrubbing, the washing, the combing, the moisturizing. Like, a lot of rappers be like, I get grimy with it. No, you don't know grimy. When I was in that room, blogging my little heart out, recording those first videos of LTA Sex, I would shower when it was time to get on the video because you got to do all the shit. But when I'm researching and thinking and just blogging, nah, baby, that was bed rot before we had the word. Because a lot of my work I did actually do in bed. Where is this? But the question is, why did I feel that way? Why did I have such a fire under my ass to not go back home? That looks fucking terrible. To not go back home, to make something of myself, to get my career in order. Why didn't I just couch ride full time? I think a lot of people, when they're thinking about motivation and energy and getting stuff done and grinding, there's something inside of them that thinks that they're missing out on some special recipe that everyone else has figured out already. And while I'm not a big business person, I've interacted with a lot of business people, and truthfully, they just have a lot of help. That was the lesson that I took away from, I took 2 years of business classes when I first started the Butters, because I wanted to know a bit more about what I was getting myself into, because I was kind of deciding that this was going to be my life. And the thing that I just kept coming into was that everybody just has people for everything. There are no one-man bands, there are no one-man armies, and that's part of why I put so much work into trying to find more people. That's actually why I'm willing to go all the way back to Michigan, because I know that I can't thrive here without a team. I've put a year of work in, I've tried multiple things. I just don't think that my style of business fits here. So I gotta go all the way back to Michigan. That's fine. Who am I shitting? That's not fine. That's thousands and thousands of dollars and days and hours of work. Oh my God. But for you, I will. And honestly, I'm not talking to you behind the screen when I say that. I'm talking to myself. I'm motivated because I think I'm capable of more, of being more, of doing more, of going farther. Vague, yes, but I think you understand what I mean. I just have this sense that there are important things for me to do, and that if I follow my internal compass, everything will work out. Truthfully, I don't question it that much. And if you've been with me over the last, 10 years for the Butters, 18 years since I started blogging, you've seen me be passionate. You've seen me make a lot of mistakes, but you've also seen me keep pushing. It feels like there's you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. That's what it feels like. And I know when I don't have it, there's something wrong. Because from my earliest memories, I've just been that person. I want to get up. I want to do stuff. I want to learn. I want to see. I want to figure out. I'm going. I am the proverbial unstoppable force. I've yet to meet an immovable object. I can move, can't I? Why it's gonna stop me? My ability to keep going is one of my prized personality traits. Where do you get your motivation from? Sometimes these videos are advice. Sometimes they're just thinking through ideas out loud. And I'm still learning and growing. We're in the messy middle of all this, right? We're in the messy middle together of whatever it is that you're doing. I'm 38. Most of the people in my audience are about roughly my age. So you get it. We're all at that point where, or most of us are at that point where we're trying to figure out, is it worth it to keep going in this direction? Is it worth it to keep putting good energy out? Is it worth it to keep moving? And if you don't know a good reason to keep moving, I can tell you that it would make me happy. One day, I'm gonna come out to you guys. I'm gonna write a book, a bunch of essays on how to be a better person or live better or things I've learned throughout my life. 40 for 40, maybe. When that happens, the one thing that I want to see is people who are here now, when things weren't so glamorous, when I was sitting in my house, working hard, talking alone to a camera, who saw something in me and in themselves, who, despite me being essentially a nobody, a no name, like not a celebrity, I'm not even a famous philosopher, they have taken the time to hear my words, to listen to me think, to let it impact them and influence them. And when I come out there with my book, I want to hear those stories. I've put a lot of work into the world, and I've lived by my own choice, separate from the impact of that. Last year, I told you I wanted to come to you more. And one of the ways I'm doing that is through these videos. Because more than anything, I'm still that little teenage kid inside who's thinking to himself, I wish people didn't have to live like this. I wish people knew that there were more options. I think we all have seen a lot of people come and go throughout life. But when you see kids making choices that will forever limit the choices that and the elevation that they can climb to, when I hear adults telling me that they can't, or that they're powerless, or that they waited too long, they stayed too long, they couldn't find a reason, they didn't understand, no one told them, no one taught them, it still hits. And truthfully, I've never talked about this before. That's part of why it's hitting me so hard. I know it sounds cheesy, which is very on brand for Jerome. I am motivated because I feel like I believe that I can make a difference in the world. Egotistical, grandiose, vibrant, human, hopeful, however you want to call it, do. And when I get out to your local bookstore, make sure you bring me those stories. If you have a story, you can leave it in the comments. You can give it to me in an email, but I want to see you. I want to experience the impact that I've had on people. Because even though I've kept myself separate from the impact, I have also had leaks come throughout the years. And that's part of why this series of blogs has continued the way it has, because it's not very popular. And truthfully, I'm not sure that this is the most marketable way forward in terms of making business grow. But for my soul, for my motivation in life, for a reason to get up every goddamn morning and keep trying, even when shit sucks, I'm not sure that there's a better reason to do anything. And I'm not sure, fuck it. And I'm 100% sure that I should feel no shame for my cheesiness, my simplicity, my earnestness. It's just not something that I engage with. But I am happy to share it with you. And I'm happy that you are willing to spend time with me, to listen, to learn, to benefit from the free time that I've been privileged to build around myself. Because truthfully, if I had less time, I couldn't do this. And that's part of why I'm glad we can spend time talking while I work, so that we don't have to miss each other. I don't have to forgo the openness. I can be motivated by all these things. I can get everything done. And I think that if you are trying to find motivation in life, you can probably look within your life and find that too. You don't want to get up and go to work. Do you have kids? I know if I had kids, I'd feel even more motivated. Every time I'm taking care of my nieces or nephews, my little cousins or whatever, it's exhausting. But I want them to see the things that I got to see young that made me a better person. And I guess in a lot of ways, I'm doing the same thing for you. The story is over, but I'm just sitting here and I'm feeling just a deep sense of pride and gratitude. I've come a long way. I've come a really long way. And that's goes back to what we talked about last week, where it's like, I can't feel inferior if I'm so much greater than the person that I was yesterday or yesterdays.
Dance to something dangerous, shake to something scandalous, prance to something fabulous, dance to something dangerous. Shout out to Mellow Bugs. I just can't get enough. Madder than Severus. Bitches ain't shaking fast enough. I'm trying to get a bite, shake my titties, run all night. I'm trying to get a bite, pop my kitty in your mouth. Give me my money before I cut your black ass. Better not be a check, cause I only take cash. Lost 3 stacks, game of craps. Don't get back, neck gon' snap. Dance to something dangerous.